Happy Friday, guys. I'm Vanessa.
I'm Eliana. You can say happy Friday.
My things are every Friday. Happy Friday.
Oh, you're fucking right.
We are your Vibe Tribe,
a place for the girls.
Join us every Friday where we talk about relationships, dating,
pop culture, and absolute randomness. Hey guys, it's Eliana here.
What's up, guys? It's Vanessa.
She's in a good mood today.
I have energy today, guys. It was either I drank or I came on here and cried. So this is a better alternative.
Welcome back, guys. I need you to tell people what you're drinking.
Oh my gosh, this is great. So I'm actually drinking one of the drinks that Eliana left at my place July 4th. So 4th of July. I don't know why I just said July 4th. That's fucking weird. And she left it and I couldn't drink at that time. So I never got to enjoy it. So it's actually, what the hell is this? It's bubbly rosé wine. But what's cool about this, guys, these are the things I find cool. Instead of it being like some mediocre, like 4.5% alcohol, this shit is 10% alcohol.
You're welcome.
And that's my day.
You're welcome. I know I found those. I don't know what they're called. They're like wine spritzers, or I guess it's like rosé spritzer. It's a wine spritzer.
The brand name is it's Spritza.
It's Spritza. We're doing free promos for Spritza right now. But no, it's literally incredible. And you can find it at Aldi's. And literally 3 of them, you're done. Like if you're semi-lightweight, you're done.
Yeah, they're honestly great. I feel like you should go buy this, Sunday fun day, or when you have a rough day at work like I do. Definitely it. It's definitely it, guys.
It's so good. Wait, I feel like we should start talking about that every Friday, like a new drink of the week.
Oh my God, we should do like a drink of the week.
We should do a drink of the week.
People are going to think we're alcoholics, though.
I mean, it's Friday, though. So it's okay to drink. Starting early.
I guess we can do that. That'd be fun. A drink of the week.
We should do that. And then it gives us an excuse to actually drink.
I love it. All right. Well, this is a Spritza, 10% alcohol. You must buy it. And you said it's an Aldi, right?
It's an Aldi's. I don't know if you can. Oh, wait, you know what? You can find it. I bought it in Aldi's, but I'm pretty sure I also saw it at Target. So you can purchase it in either location. Love it. Okay. Well, Vanessa, how was your week? Tell me. I feel like I need some good energy from you.
I'm the wrong person to ask for energy this week because my life was in shambles. I was, basically contemplating my entire existence on planet Earth. And I really went through it. I was like, what do I want to do with my life? This happens to me about... you're probably a better guess because every time this happens to me, I call you and I'm like, my life is over. Like, this is it for me. So this happens like every couple of months. It was time. It's been a couple months. So here I am. It happened. But, today it was different. Like we kind of talked yesterday too, which people don't know. But I feel like that
we don't just talk on Friday.
Which people don't know, but I'm filling you guys in. Liana talked yesterday about this because my life was actually in shambles yesterday. And I feel like that conversation actually helped me a lot because today I woke up like not with more energy because I slept like 12 hours last night, but I woke up with like a different mindset. I was just like, whatever is going to be for me will be for me. And if it's not, then it's not the end of the world. I don't need to have everything figured out right now. And I just need to let things like flow and happen because basically, like, I'm a perfectionist. Like, I'm a perfectionist and I obsessed. I'm a control freak. That's a better word. Like, I'm a major control freak and I like to have all parts of my life, like, figured out. So when I feel like one thing is not really working or I feel like it's not something that I want to do, I, like, go into spirals and then it's like crashing and burning. And Eliana can totally talk about that. because she hears it
But I feel
firsthand.
like But I feel like we all go through that. I think just, I mean, maybe like you handle it differently or like it's like a normal thing. I feel like for me too, like there's like the ebbs and flows of life and like my emotions. Like I feel like there's so many, I literally think I go through the ebbs and flows like probably every 2 months, I would say. Like for me, I feel like I have like a cycle where I'm like, go, go, go. Like you're killing it. You're killing it. You're doing everything. You're juggling everything. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, what am I doing? Is anything that I'm doing fulfilling me? Or it's like, wait, am I doing enough? And then I go through like a phase where I'm like, wait, is what I'm doing like who am I? I'm like, why? Almost kind of like, who do I think I am? Like, do I really think I know what I'm talking about? Like, why are you doing any of this? Like, no one cares. Like, why are you even doing this or this? Or it's almost like imposter syndrome. Like, I feel that way sometimes, and then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, no, like, no. Why am I having those like negative thoughts? And then I like come back down, and then I go through moments where I'm like, I kind of like feel like I don't want to do anything. And then I'm just like at a standstill. And then I'm again like, okay, no, but let me focus on stuff. And it's just like it flows, like, you know what I mean? But I like what I was telling you is like when you're having those moments, I feel like the first thing you have to do is like, don't keep telling yourself those negative thoughts. So those negative thoughts are going to come into your mind. But if you keep feeding it and you're like, no, this is the way I feel, then you just stay in the stuck mode. You
I feel
know?
like it is. I feel like it is imposter syndrome for me, and well, there's several things. So one of them is imposter
We're gonna
syndrome.
uncover this. We're gonna what is that word called? Uncover
Dissect,
it? We're gonna
uncover.
dissect this. We're gonna dissect what's going on.
Right. So this is great. Like I'm very. It's funny because I actually go to therapy and stuff, and even in therapy, my therapist is like,
Yeah.
"Wow, like you really know what's going on. Like I know exactly what's going on. I know, um, like you know how some people sometimes they have all these feelings and they don't know, like they don't know how to sort through it. They don't know like anything. I'm the opposite. I know exactly how
Yeah,
I'm
you're
feeling,
very
why I'm
aware.
feeling that way, what I should be doing to not feel this way. But even so, guys, like even having all of the tools and having just knowing and being there's a word that I'm looking for,
Aware.
like self-aware,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't fix what you're actually feeling. So that's like kind of like my battle, because like I said, I go through this like every couple of months, but it is like imposter syndrome, and then it's not being where I want to be, and then I also struggle, so you guys know too, like me being on this podcast is like Eliana knows, like major. Like
Yeah, it's like a huge breakthrough. And I'm
this
so
is a huge,
excited.
this is a major breakthrough in my life. Like let's just
Yeah.
say that much, because I like if you go on my Instagram, I don't have many pictures. I'm not one to post every single day. I don't want people knowing about my life, to be honest. But I also know I also know like I have a lot to say and I have a lot of knowledge and honestly in a bunch of things because I love like learning about different topics all the time, and I like dive deep into some crazy stuff. So I know I have a lot to say and I know I have a lot to like help people with, but then I battle with the whole I don't want people, I don't want to be in the spotlight. I
Yeah.
My whole thing with like being out in public, like the public eye, is I don't want to just be like another person, you know what I'm saying? Like another influencer, another, like if I feel like I'm not bringing value into people's lives, that's when I start spiraling and I go into like this, like like bad self-worth
Withdrawal
like mode.
phase.
Cause it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, cause it's like, what am I doing? I need to bring people value. I need to, make sure that I'm being like the person that I like see myself as. And if I just am talking like out of my ass and just doing what everyone else is doing, I feel like that's when my imposter syndrome kicks in, and I just feel like I'm not
Start
being
to
like
panic.
genuine to myself, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. And I'm like, I don't want to be in the spotlight. And then I like back away.
But and like this is what I was telling you that I'm like I like see it because hello, you're my best friend, but I also see moments where like I feel you that you're like scared to like show and be your true self. And I think that is when things start to click, right? When you feel like, whoa, this is working. And it's usually when you're being your most authentic self. You know what I mean? And I think most people are going, like a lot of people, not everyone is like me where they're like, I don't give a shit, like I'm just going to be in the spotlight, I don't give a crap if anyone wants to talk shit about me. I feel like most people, and I get moments of it too, where you're afraid to put yourself out there because you're afraid of, okay, well, how are people going to perceive me, or what are people going to think about me? And I think a lot of people, not just in being in the spotlight, but just with anything, like people are afraid to fail. So it's like, how many people have amazing ideas, amazing business ideas, or amazing project ideas, and they're like, oh, I want to do this, and then that's it, that's as far as it goes. I want to do this, and it never gets done because their own self-sabotaging thoughts are like, oh no, I'm afraid of like what people are going to say, or well, what if it doesn't work? Like I told you, like you're already so much more powerful than the other people that aren't willing to try, because you at least are putting yourself out there and you're trying, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of, and I even told her, I was like, this podcast, I'm like, you have so many, like people are going to identify with the things that you're going through. Like there's so many people out there that are scared or like feel anxiety too about things like this, or go through the same emotional, like, ebbs and flows that you do. So,
Yeah, honestly, like, I mean, if it didn't kind of make sense, I basically have really bad anxiety, and I've been
yeah,
living with that my entire life. So,
yeah. Guys, when
it's just
I told her to
managing.
post about this podcast, you should have seen her face. It was like, actually, I was like, okay, Vanessa, so we're going to post this to promote the podcast. And she was, I swear her face looked like she had seen a ghost. And I was like, that was when I like actually realized how bad your anxiety was. I had no idea. I didn't think it was that bad. And then I'm like, wow, like I know it must, I mean, I don't know what it's like to feel that way. So I'm like, that's,
Yeah,
you know,
it's insane. I mean, for everyone else who has anxiety, I'm sure, everyone's anxiety is not the same, but mine is like it's only like the people, I guess like only the
how would
people
you
that have
describe it?
anxiety
Because I really,
and
I don't have anxiety. So I don't, I mean, I have anxiety, but like, I don't have it to that degree. So
right.
how would
So
you
I was gonna
describe
say
it?
only the people that have the anxiety that I like the kind of anxiety that I do and are very self-aware understand like what I'm saying right now. Because if you have like really bad anxiety and you're not really self-aware of it and you still don't know how to manage or anything like that, it's a lot. It's honestly might be even worse than where I'm at, and where everyone else is at. But knowing that you have it really bad and trying to manage it, and then knowing when you're failing at managing it, like that's on another level, I feel like, because it's like you're aware of something, but you just sometimes it's like so hard to fix it. And that's like,
Even more frustrating because you know what the problem is, but it's still
right.
present.
And it's like, how do
Yeah.
you tell yourself, hey, like, like for me, like, hey, don't chew your lips. But it's something that's so subconscious to me that it's like I get so like the anxiety is so
Just do
bad that
it.
I literally like that's just like it's my like response to it.
I felt like when I told you, I was like, okay, we're gonna promote this, I felt like I had to like walk you through it. Okay, I was like, this is, and I did almost have to like walk you through it and be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And you were like, okay, I guess we're doing this. Like it was like, I was like, we're gonna rip off the band-aid and we're gonna do it together. But it's so crazy because until like I like talked to you, I didn't really know like how serious it is. And like I'm sure there's a lot of people out there listening that have that bad of anxiety. And it's like, I mean, the only advice I have to give is like, just do it. Like, it's going to be so uncomfortable. And I'm sure that day for you was so hard to actually do it. But like, once you did it not feel like you could breathe again? Like, okay.
Honestly, it was very liberating. That was really like the word for it. Because sometimes like with anxiety, you just live in your head. Like that's just the problem. You literally overthink everything. And so when you just
Yeah.
do something, you don't really give much thought to it. You're like, okay, like this is what I'm being told to do. Let's do it. And then you do it. it's a whole different thing. And I just think that that's very important. And like, I'm so glad to have you, obviously as my best friend, because it's like at
Mm.
times like that, it's like you just need someone to
Push
kind
you
of
a
guide
little
you in the
bit.
moment, you know?
Yeah. I fucking dragged her. She was like, no, I don't want to do this. I was like, bitch, you're doing this right now. We're doing it together. And she's like, ah, fuck. Like, okay, I guess we're doing it. But yeah,
And
I'm so proud of you because I know like not for doing stuff like this is like it is scary. Like it is scary for me too, but I don't know. I feel like I don't really care as much. Like I don't know. Maybe it's because I was bullied. Were you ever bullied? Like I
um,
like severely not like physically, but were you like actually bullied? Like were you
I mean,
ever
like
bullied?
people made fun of me and stuff, and like my whole thing was like I even hate talking about the past because I feel like when I was younger, I would try to fit in to the groups, like the popular like kids and stuff, and
Yeah,
I was part of that, but like deep down, I knew that that wasn't me. Like if people know me,
I'm
like
dead. Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
you're such a
I'm
weirdo.
I'm guys, like I'm such an introvert. Like I could be an extrovert. Like that's not what I'm saying. I can 100% be an extrovert, but I'm an introvert
But you
and
have
I'm
moments. You have very few moments.
right. And so that's not me. Like the
Yeah.
typical popular kids going out, like all this stuff. Like, no, like I'm like a sheltered person. Like I never went to house parties. I never did like just anything. I'm very like homebody. This is what I want to do. And I'm
Yeah.
okay with it. Like I live a happy life that way. So I feel like I stepped into myself later on as an adult.
Yeah.
I stopped trying to be what other people expected me to be and wanted me to be. And, I had friends that wanted me to be a certain way. And it's like, no, like that's just not who I am. And I need to stop
Yeah.
pretending that that's who I am because it's just not.
Yeah. That's true. But you see what I mean? I feel like if you like found out you're like, okay, this is who I am, but you know what I mean? But you are still aware of like, okay, well, this is what I need to do to like get what I want and get like and reach the people that I want to reach because I feel like you do want to reach people that are going through similar things that you are and to help women and specifically. And it's like, that you have to step out of your introvertness, I guess, to kind of reach those people. And I think that's what's hard for you that you're like, it's like a constant battle. You're like, I guess this isn't like, this is hard for me, but I know I need to do this in order to reach the people that I want to reach.
Exactly. And that's what I talk about in like therapy. When I go to therapy, it's like I have all these goals and aspirations in my life. And it's basically how do I take who I am and obviously make it better because we should always try to be, the best version of ourselves. And, all these goals and aspirations that I have, they are really important to me. So it's just learning to maneuver and just, this is the way I am. That's not saying, I'm not saying that, you know, if you are, because so let me see if this can make sense. Because there's people
Okay.
that are like, oh, well, this is who I am. This is what you get. That's not what I'm
Right.
saying because I don't agree with that saying. I feel like you should always try to, like I said, be a better version of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know my personality traits and, the gist of who I am. So it's just basically trying to put together, the pieces to still reach and empower women like I want to,
But
but
still
still
being your
remain
most
true
authentic
to
self.
myself.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And there's a way to do that. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure you don't know yet either, but this is the journey to find it. So, yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah.
welcome to my journey, guys. You'll be
Yeah.
you'll be going
This
through
is
this with
definitely
me.
I'm like, we're going to interview other women, but honestly, I can just interview you.
I'm the whole package.
People are so complex. Like it's crazy to me because it's so different. And like for me, I was bullied like a lot. I was bullied a lot in elementary school, like not like by girls. I feel like in elementary school, I don't know. I've always been a very sensitive person. So I think like in any moment when I was like in elementary, right? Like let's say a guy like said one thing to me that was like, oh my God, like, okay, I have hairy arms. Like they're not crazy hairy. You can't even really see it, but I have hair on my arms. And I remember this boy came up to me and was like, "Oh my God, you have hair on your arms," and like said it so loud and like everybody could hear. And I was so embarrassed by it that just like stuck to me. I was like, "Oh my God, I have hairy arms and I'm a hairy girl." Like now it's like just ingrained in my system that I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm hairy," and that's not the way I should be. And then like in elementary school or like middle school, I was always naturally like very outspoken and like very outgoing. So I was usually always friends with like the girls in my class that were like also the same way, right? I guess the popular girls. And I remember all of a sudden someone, you know how it starts, like someone starts a little rumor and then they hear the rumor and then they're like, "Ah, are you this way?" And I remember all those girls that were my friends like literally turned on me and they started bullying me. Like it was so bad. I remember like the worst day was that I walked home in middle school, like to my apartment back home. They walked behind me the whole way, just like yelling horrible things at me the whole way. I mean, imagine like as a little girl, like how old are you in middle school? Like 10, 11? I don't know. I don't know how old you are in middle, like 11 or 12, right? That's like middle school years. I feel like, I don't know. But imagine being that young and just having like the girls who you think are your friends and like you look up to too, just like screaming at you horrible things. Like I literally broke down and I remember it was like so horrible. I still remember this because I feel like that was like a turning point in my life that I remember I was like, you know what? Like I don't need these girls and I don't need to like pretend that I'm anything to make anyone happy. And I remember I went back to school. My mom made me, but I still went back. Mom was like, "You have to go." And I went to school the next day. And I remember I went to the other girls that were in my class that I guess they were like the nerdy girls, but I was just like, "Okay, hi, I'm Eliana. Introduce myself. I've never talked to you, but I, you know what I mean?" And I made friends with those girls and I ended up becoming really close to them. And I was just like, "All right, bye." And I remember those girls a month later were like reaching out to me trying to get me to be their friend again. So I don't know if that was like the pivotal moment, but I remember I was just like, why are you worried what other people think about you? And I don't know if it was like a switch in my brain, but I was just like, yeah, I'm done.
That's so crazy that you even bring up that story because I'm like having like so many things are going through my head right now because I'm like, wow, first of all, how come I didn't know that story before? Second of all,
There's so many stories. I mean, I have 25 years of life, which is not
honestly,
even that much compared to some other people.
second of all, I literally had the same thing happen to me, but let's backtrack. So
Wait, really?
the whole
Okay.
hair thing, like I remember this boy in my bus like made fun of me one time for like having hair in my legs. I was, mind you, like very little. I was probably like, I don't even know how old, but I was pretty little.
Yeah. And
And
you have
I just
dark hair. We both
remember,
have really dark hair. So,
right. And I just remember going home and telling my mom, like, "Mom, I need you to take this hair off my legs. Like, this needs to happen today." And my dad came in. He's like, "She's too young to shave." He was making a whole commotion of this whole thing. He was just like not having it. And I was looking at my mom and I was like, "I know you see me. I see you. We're making contact. Like, you're going to help me through this. Like, forget about him. Forget about what he's saying. Like, you need
like,
to come
we're
through as
connecting
mom
right
right now
now.
and
Right.
make this happen." And so she did, which was awesome. Like, she just let me start shaving my legs. So
That's nice.
that
I
was
feel like
that.
most moms would be like, no.
No, yeah, my mom is a total trooper. Like, she was like, "I see we see me. Like, let's get this done. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just keep this from your dad. Like, whatever."
Yeah.
So I did that, and then second thing or fourth thing, I don't even know where I'm on right now. I had a group of best friends in high school, mind you.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild because it's high school, mind you. They were friends from like middle school, so these were long term friends. Like,
Oh gosh.
some were
Okay.
8 years, some was like over 5, 6 years. And same thing happened. Like they literally just turned on me one day, all of them.
Damn it, in high school, that's like even worse because it's like you're older already. So I don't know.
Right.
People are
So,
meaner. Girls are meaner.
so kind of backstory that I think honestly, I've like removed this from my like brain because it was honestly a pretty traumatic time for me, especially because I was, I had a boyfriend at that time, and they were my only friends. Like, like they were literally my only friends other than, like Melissa, obviously my lifelong friend, but
Right.
they were literally my only friends, like the people I hung out with every single day. And it's like from one day to another, they all turned on me. And I just felt like so
Like
I
helpless.
have no words. Like I just have no words. I just felt like, I mean, I even talk about this in therapy too. I just felt so like so many things, just, beside the point, but like so many things. And it was just like very mind opening to me. And I feel like that was the time in my life where I realized, that I didn't want to have a lot of friends to just have friends. I wanted to have like real friends, which is why it's so hard for me to make friends now. It's because of
Yeah.
that moment. And
Yeah, because
then
you're like,
also,
are you gonna turn on me? Like, are you gonna be with me till the end? Like, and be a real
right,
friend?
right.
Yeah.
And, there's always two sides to every story. And of course, I'm not going to say that, I'm a perfect person and I never did anything wrong. I totally could have hurt someone or whatever the case was. Obviously,
Everyone has. Everyone has.
unintentionally, because I'm not like, that's not who I am as a person. And I feel
Yeah.
like I was more hurt by the fact that they didn't see that and they didn't know that. And it's like, you've been my friend for this long, and you think like all these things of me. And it's like,
Yeah.
you should know that that's
We didn't
not
give you
true,
the
because that's
benefit of
not
the
who I am.
doubt.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's funny that we literally had kind of like the same thing. I'm pretty sure I don't even want to talk about the things that they did, because I feel like it's not even like worth to like bring up, but
Yeah.
it was pretty bad things.
It
Like
was traumatic.
very, very like just nasty, like just bad things that I just wouldn't do to anyone. Like even if I don't like someone, like it's not right to like get to that point with anyone, I feel like. So,
Yeah.
but
That's
good
crazy.
riddance. I feel like God, or whatever you want to talk, the universe, or whatever you believe in, does things for a reason and takes away people, from your lives that doesn't need to be there. And I feel like sometimes you just have to let go
100%.
and have that happen, even though if in the moment you feel like shit,
What is
like what's
happening?
happening, like why is this happening to me, and you just like spiral, like allow it to happen. Because I feel like every time
Yeah.
something like that, like pivotal in my life has happened, it's always been for the best.
Always. That's true. 100%. That's like so powerful because it's so true, especially like when you're experiencing something like that that's so heavy and you're like, and this could be for anything. This could be for a breakup. It could be for a fight like you're having with a friend. Like, I mean, obviously know when you're wrong and right, like understand when some of it might be you, but also like what will be for you will be for you, and what's not meant for you will find its way out. Because it's
Exactly.
true. It's so crazy. Like in the moment, you're like, what is happening? Like these people are like leaving my life, or you know what I mean? And then after, I feel like always, like almost always, when something horrible has happened to me, or I'm like, why is this happening to me? Like I don't understand. I'm always looking back, and when I reflect, I'm like, I'm in a better spot than when I was when that happened. I'm like, wow, I've grown, or like something better has come along. You know what I mean? So I think that's really good. You should experience things, like let it happen, and then you'll always be better afterwards. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, at that time in my life, I felt like those were like that was going to be my only best friends. Like they were like, it was me through thick and thin, like
yeah,
whatever. And it, I just feel like we're always taught lessons, and we should listen when we're taught lessons, because
yeah,
they always come in such different forms. And I hate it. Like I'm the kind of person that I don't want to be told something. Like I want to experience it for myself. Like my dad always says, there's two different types of people in the world. One that listens to like the wisdom and like takes it in and is like, okay, like, he's saying this or she's saying this, so let me not do that. And then there's a person that's like, okay, cool, you're telling me all these things, but I still want to try it for myself.
yeah.
I'm the second part. I'm definitely the second part in my life. And it's hard. And I feel like a lot of people might be that way too. So,
almost everyone says it. They're like, oh, I won't do that. And they're like, oh, I'm going to do it until I like, no. And then after they're like, oh, fuck. Okay. All right. I won't do it again now. you know?
exactly. So I learned from lessons, and I feel like I got them a lot early on in my life, many lessons. And I would always just be like, what the hell is happening? Like, why is this happening to me? Like, why is my life just, like so young and so difficult? I just had no idea. But
Yeah.
now that I'm older, I can reflect, and it's like, all right, you were very naive in these situations, and or you weren't thinking about this, clearly, and so it's just you take those things and you just, as you age, which is what they say, you
Yeah.
become wiser.
Yeah. No, I love that. And like, not to be cheesy, but like that's honestly what your vibe tribe is about. That it's like, I don't know, I just feel like me and you are on the same wavelength when it comes to like I'm only hanging out. I'm only like spending time with people that are on the same vibe as me. Like I feel like I know like girls that I'm friends with and they're like, yeah, I hate this girl. And I'm like, but you hang out with her every weekend. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, why are you spending time with people that are not on the same vibe as you, that are not, you know what I mean? Like that you're not gaining anything from. Like if someone's in your life and they're causing you issues, causing you pain, like, bro, let them go. Like get them out.
And honestly, that's how it should be. I don't know if I talked about this before, but I'm like an energy person. So as you can imagine, I hate putting like bad energy on someone else. So like even me calling or talking to Eliana, like talking to you about this, or when my life is in shambles, I hate that because I hate putting that my bullshit on someone else.
But I don't agree with that. But I
Right.
don't agree with that because it's like, if anything, you calling me and you being open and honest and telling me like, oh, wow, like I'm going through that too. Like, if anything, I was like, damn, like I have moments where I feel like that too. And if anything, out of that conversation, we're like, all right, well, we have to push each other. And like, if I know you're going through that, I know I have moments that I go through that. So I was like, okay, let's push each other. You know what I mean? But I'm a good friend. So that's not the case for everyone. But you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm here with you. Like, all right, I hear you. I'm here to help you,
And that's what I was going to say too, because what I was going with it is like, sometimes you have friends that just dump on you, like consistently. I'm not talking about like a one-time thing where it's like every couple months I talk to, Eliana or whatever about my problems and like how I'm feeling, but it's like continuously dumping on you like every single day. And it's like negativity after negativity. Right. I just can't be around those people because as it is already, I'm like such an empath that I take everyone's bullshit, even if they're not even giving it to me. Yeah. Like, someone's telling me a story and they're crying and I'm fucking crying. Yeah. Like that's just the level of empathy that I have. So I have to be like very careful about who I like give my energy, like who I'm around and who I spend my time with. Yeah. Because I get drained so quickly. So like I'll hang out with friends one weekend and I have to come back and just reset and be by myself for a couple of days to come back to like normal and feel normal. Because if not, I get so unbalanced and I feel like so much shit is happening and I'm like, why am I sad? Why am I feeling this? Why am I feeling that? And it's like, no, bitch, like that's not you. Like
that's not you. Those are your friends. That's crazy.
You're taking everyone else's shit and you're making it yours. So like I have to come back and like reset. So that's why I'm such a like a big like person on who I spend my time with and like who are my friends. Like I don't have, like I said, many friends. And I like to keep it that way, to be honest. Like, I mean, I'm open to making friends, but I'm saying like I'm very particular about who I hang out with.
Yeah, same. I feel like as soon as I get some weird energy, some weird vibes, I'm like, not for me. And then that's it. It's done. Damn. That's awesome though. And I feel like we're going to talk a lot more about this like along the pod, as episodes come along. But like, I feel like, anxiety is something that Vanessa deals with. And like, as she learns how to deal with it and stuff, I'm sure she's going to share that with you guys too.
Yeah. So I did have some points that I wanted to talk to you about.
Ooh, wait, not you interviewing me. What's up?
I'm just so curious to have your reaction.
Oh gosh, I'm nervous. Yeah. Okay.
What did you think about Kim K's Met Gala outfit?
Wait, she was the one that was in all black, right? Yeah, no, too much. I mean, I thought it was okay. Like, I don't know. I'm not a fashion guru. Like, I don't know, but I just thought I'm like, if you can't see, maybe it's not the best option. Like, I'm sure it was difficult for her to see. Like, I don't know what was going on behind the mask, but I just think there were so many stunning dresses. Like, it was just, there were some gorgeous, like, very theatrical dresses. And I guess hers was theatrical, but I didn't think it was gorgeous.
So I saw this post on social media and I was dying. For those of you who love Harry Potter,
Wait, that she was the fucking, what is it called? What are they called? She was a Dementor.
I was freaking dying. I was dying. And people were making videos of like people walking down the street and like seeing like
I
seeing
know. I saw that and I was like, damn, they just came for her.
Honestly though, like I just have to say I thought it was not a good idea. Like you could have done
No.
anything else. She looked
No.
scary.
Yeah.
Like I didn't understand. I didn't understand. I feel like she didn't understand the assignment.
I didn't think she understood the assignment either. And I feel so bad. But you know what? Like, damn, I can't, I hate to talk shit because you know what? Like, anything, imagine having to fucking pick out your outfit for the Met Gala. And like, I feel like her family and her are always like going for like the top. You know what I mean? Like, she has so much pressure on her. So, she just like went for the stars and just like fucking I don't know, like hit a fucking, I don't know, she missed it. She missed the stars. But
on the other note,
we tried.
Kendall's was gorgeous.
Oh, gorgeous. But hers is a more safe option. Like, I mean, it wasn't safe because like it was very sexy, but like it was still a very classy look.
Okay. Now you have to tell me.
What?
Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker and Megan.
Oh, well, I've been obsessed with Megan Fox. Like, I am literally obsessed with her.
And MGK.
Yeah, she can do no wrong. Like, Megan Fox can do no wrong. I follow her on Instagram and I am obsessed with that woman. I mean, I don't even care if people say that she's generic looking. She has like something about her. I don't know what it is. I'm obsessed with her. Yeah, she can do no wrong in my eyes. She can do whatever she wants. She's always going to be right.
And they're like, did you see their like outfits and stuff? And did you see their pictures that Kourtney posted? Like,
I mean, Kourtney, I don't know. I will say that I feel like Kourtney has just like completely changed her style since being with him. But I don't want to fault her because I feel like you naturally, like when you get into a couple, like you naturally like, you know what I mean? Like you start picking up some of their like vibes. But I feel like she just did like a 180 and she was just like, I'm now this rocker chick's like rocker guy's like girlfriend. And like she's like playing the part. Almost a little bit. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like she's playing into the part a little bit too much. I mean, I love them together and I think it's great, but I feel like Kourtney has like an identity crisis right now and she's like, I don't know.
Sure. So what about Britney Spears' engagement?
Oh, bitch, what? I don't even know about that. Wait, how do you know this? Are you looking at tabloids to be like... How do you know about this and I don't? Who is she engaged to?
Her longtime boyfriend. She's been with him like forever.
Oh, I don't even know what he looks like, but I heard he's
you
like.
You don't know what he looks like?
No, is he horrible?
Shut up.
Wait, send me a picture.
Look at this. Let me just.
Is this known fact?
Sam Ashgari. I'm probably pronouncing that super wrong.
Oh God!
I'm confused. Look at this.
Oh, wait, yes, I have seen him. He looks insane, but is he like also one of the people who's manipulating her?
So like, that's what my question was. Because like all of a sudden, you know, Britney's free and all of a sudden she's engaged now. Is it because her money's free too?
That's scary. Honestly, dude, I'd be so afraid to have that much money. I would be terrified. Like, I feel like, oh my God, like if I ever like, I mean, hopefully, but if I ever became a freaking millionaire or a billionaire, like, I don't know if I would trust anybody. I wouldn't trust anybody, to be honest.
Really? You wouldn't trust, like, I would trust, like, my family and friends that were.
I mean, yeah, I would trust my family and friends, but, like, I'm saying about, like, dating wise.
Oh, like, if you weren't in a relationship and you had to start all over? Absolutely not.
Like, I would just pretend I wasn't, like, I didn't have money.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I would be like, no, like, like I'd be like, no, it's all a front. Like I make this much. Like I wouldn't say I made more than 150K. I'd be like, this is how much I make. Like that's it.
Do people actually like on dates? I mean, this is a question though because I've never really dated like that. Like I said before, I've only
Talk
been in
about how much they make.
relationships. So do people actually talk about like what they make, like when they're on dates and stuff? Is that like a thing?
I feel like there's this whole like toxic culture now with women and like caring how much men make. Like, listen, I don't know. It's like such a controversial topic for me. Have I ever asked a guy how much they make on a date? Absolutely not. But because for me, wealth is not a part of the things that I'm attracted to. There are women out there that having a good job and making a certain amount of money is something that is like an attractive factor for them. Like there are women I know will not date a man if they're not making a certain amount of money and they won't even give them the chance. Like I know for a fact. For me, I'm not like that. Like I genuinely do not care how much a guy makes. In fact, I feel like I actually get uncomfortable when men want to pay for things or like, and it's probably the way I grew up. We can talk about that another time, but I genuinely get uncomfortable when a guy makes too much money. I feel like it's like a power thing and I don't want anyone ever to have more power than me. And it's a certain way, right? There are men that make a lot of money that aren't like, you know, oh, I want to pay this and buy everything for you. If you make a lot of money and you're like respectful and you're, you know, I don't know. I just don't like having money shoved in my face. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's a difference between, oh, baby, like I'll get your dinner. Oh, hey, I got you a gift. But there are guys that are almost like try to woo you with their money. And I do not like that because I feel like it's something else.
I feel like we've talked about this before and we have kind of the same viewpoint on that because I don't feel like that's like a determining factor for me because I'm very dependent and I also get weird.
I get weird vibes. I get like you're almost I never knew my dad. So maybe that why I'm like, are you trying to be my dad? Like it's just weird. I'm like, no. Like I get very like I get uncomfortable. I like actually get uncomfortable. But just side note, I was watching this show called Couples Therapy. I feel like I told you to watch that show before. It's incredible. You see like a bunch of different couples like talk about their relationships. Anyway, there was one couple on there that they were both like well-known, not actors, but like one of the guys was like a model or an actor. I don't know. And then the girl was like also in like TV production or something like that. They both were well off. They made good money. During the pandemic, they both lost their jobs. And that was like a huge issue in the relationship. The fact that he no longer was the provider and wasn't working. She didn't want to have sex with him.
Why?
And she said on the show, she was like, I'm just not attracted to him right now because he's not working. Can you believe that?
But there has to be something deeper than that. It just can't be that as superficial as that.
And she was working though. She was working. She was like, I feel like I'm working and doing stuff and he's just not working. He's just taking his like break of work and he's just not doing anything. And she's like, I don't find him attractive. This man was gorgeous. I was like, are you insane right now? I was like,
there's a thing between having like money and in a career and like having aspirations, I feel like, because if you think about my last relationship.
But that's you. She blatantly said, I do not want to have sex with this man because I don't find him attractive right now because he's not working.
That's wild. I mean, yeah.
And there are women that I'm telling you will not be attracted to somebody because of the amount of money they make. It's like an instant no. That's insane to me, but there are a lot of women like that.
Yeah, I don't get that because I feel like I'm more about like who you are as a person versus like what you can bring like to me. Because like, again, I make my own money. I don't need your money. Even though it sometimes makes them feel emasculated and like, you know, whatever you want to say. But I'm more about what are you going to bring me like emotionally and like
yeah,
who you are as a person. Versus because people will change careers all the time. People will get jobs all the time. Like that's something that's just not like who you are is like the fundamentals of who you are. I feel like is more like
Yeah.
important, obviously, than your fucking job.
I'm telling you, and there's like some like toxic communities on TikTok that you see like girls posting and they're like, yeah, if he doesn't make this much money, like let him go. Like he's not for you. And it's like, what is the man providing for you? If he's not providing anything, then you should not be in the relationship. And I'm like, that to me is just so backwards. I'm like, I feel like women and men, like, it should be on an equal playing field. Like, if a woman makes more than the guy, like, why should that emasculate you? Like, what if you're inferior? If you feel inferior because you don't make enough money, then do something about it. But it shouldn't be like money shouldn't be tied to like your masculinity. And it's like same thing as like finding a man who makes more money shouldn't be tied to your femininity. Like those two things are completely separate. Like, it's just baffling to me. Like,
That's kind of like the whole thing of like marriage too, because like being married was like ownership. Like they had ownership of the girl or the woman.
yeah.
But and that's kind of like my whole thing too. Like obviously, of course I'd want to get married and stuff, but I don't feel like it's as important to me as it is like to other people, as it could be to other people.
What is important to me, though, I will say, if I'm going on a date, like I remember, like when I first started dating Manny, he picked me up and like freaking, I don't even know, his car was, you saw his original car. He had like a 2000 and something Celica. Did you see his old car?
No,
It was a
never.
trash can. It was a trash can. And he like walked out super handsome. And I was like, oh my God, I'm getting in this trash can. But I was like, it's fine. Like I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm not better than this car. Like, who am I to say that? So I was like, whatever. But I didn't know him at the time. So obviously when you first meet someone, all you have to judge them on is like their car, what they're wearing, whatever. So I was like, oh my God, I'm getting in this trash can. But it was like so clean. So I was like, okay, at least this car is clean. I was like, we're good. So we went to the restaurant and actually, I'm about to expose Manny, but it's fine. When I first met him, my boyfriend, okay, for the people that don't know, we've been dating for what? It'll be 3 years in September. So when I first met him, whatever, we went on the date and he kind of told me, he was like, I was like, oh, so what do you do? And I had just gotten like my first professional job since college. I was like, oh, I'm a sales rep. Like I do this and this. And he's like, oh, that's so cool. Like whatever. And I was like, what do you do? And he's like, oh, well, I'm a visual designer, which I don't know anything about arts. I was like, oh, okay. Then like, who do you work for? And he's like, oh, I work freelance. He's like, oh, I work freelance for Disney. And I was like, freelance? I was like, okay. But he kind of like paused and I was like, oh my God, I was like freelance. I was like, freelance means like contract. Like, so you like people reach out to you for jobs and stuff. Whatever. But like as I started like dating him more and more, I was like, okay. So I like realized he didn't like, he finally like told me like super honest. He's like, yeah, like I'm like in between jobs right now. So like I have like some jobs that they give me, but it's not very consistent. So I don't really have like a steady job. And I was like, oh shit. But I was like, damn, that sucks. But when I talked to him, he was like, but I'm working on this and this because this is where I want to go. And like, this is what I want to achieve. And like, that's a different type of person, like someone that's like, okay, well, listen, I'm not where I want to be right now, but I'm working towards where I do want to be. And it's like, that's the difference. And now he makes more than I do. You know
Right.
what I mean? And he makes a lot of money. So it's like, but the difference between like a guy that's just like, oh yeah, I'm doing this and I'm not happy with the job that I have and I don't really have a plan for anything else. That to me is a little bit unattractive because it's like I want to date someone who's passionate about what they're doing and has drive and who's a go-getter. So those are different qualities than just I want someone with money.
That's how I feel too, because the same thing, like even like in my last relationship, you knew that was like a big thing because
right.
I was with a person that didn't have that, at that time. I can't speak of like right now because I don't know, but
Yeah.
that was a big thing for me because it was like I have all this drive, I have all of these ideas, I have all of this, and I feel like I'm on my own,
Yeah.
in a relationship, and I feel like I'm on my own. So
Right.
I feel like that is important too. Like you need to find someone who has aspirations. They might not have the best job, but if they have the ideas and the drive and like the ambition, I feel like that is something that, it's worthy. It's valuable.
You don't want someone that's always going to be just content. Like, let's do more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you want a partner that's going to push you too. And like, that's a big thing that me and Manny have in common, that we're like, we are both very motivated, and he pushes me and I push him, and we bounce ideas off each other. And like, we're like, oh my God, that's awesome. Like, we help each other on our projects, and I like ask him for advice. He asks me for advice. So it's like, it's more than just like, oh, I want a guy who makes a lot of money. Like, two very different things, you know?
Yeah, no, I feel that. And I feel like you guys are a power couple, and it's
I'm dead. I still need, not yet.
no, you guys are definitely a power couple. Are you kidding? You guys are both doing so well in life. You guys both know what you're doing, what you want to do. You're both so driven, so ambitious. Like you guys are a power couple now. You might not have all the money that you want to right now, but you still are the power
True.
couple. Is what I'm saying. So I feel like that's something that people should look for in partners. Like when you're in a relationship, that's what you should be like seeking. You don't want to be alone in a relationship, and you don't want to be the only one with those ideas and and those ambitions either, because it's not going to work.
It's not going to work. It'll eventually be unbalanced. Like, you'll feel it. Like, I feel like I see that. It's like, oh, it's like the men get jealous, and then like, they start, and that's when like guys get emasculated and they start trying to just stick their dick in anything, because they're like, oh, like I don't feel like good enough, so I'm going to find someone that like, like worships me and like will do, you know what I mean? And they start looking for other things, and it'll eventually become imbalanced, and it'll hurt the relationship. So it's like, we went really deep with that, but no, I don't talk about pay. We went into a rabbit hole on that one, Jesus. But okay, but I do want to talk about the last episode of Bachelor in Paradise before we end this podcast.
So, did you see that Brendan went home? How did you feel about that?
I'm glad he went home. I feel like he handled himself really well, and I kind of feel bad that he was like a little bit thrown under the bus, but I feel like I don't know. I don't want to judge them, because I get it. Like, they're just looking for clout, and I can like understand it, but it's like they were lying.
Exactly. That's why I feel no empathy at all.
I know.
Like,
I just know he's not a bad guy. Like, I know they're not bad people. I think they were just like thinking, oh, I'll get away with this. Who am I going to hurt? And then he ended up flirting with this girl, Natasha, a little too much. I mean, you're a handsome guy. Like, can't just go around flirting with girls like that and thinking like they're not going to get like attached to you.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they obviously could be like great people outside of it, but the whole thing of them coming on there just for followers and stuff. I mean, they ended up losing so many followers.
It's annoying. Yeah, it's annoying.
Not even that, but it's like, well, if you know you want to be with this person, you want to explore, the relationship, even if it's not a fucking relationship, like even if you're just talking to them like normal people do,
just date on your own.
That's who you want to do it with. Why are you getting on a show like for what?
And there's other ways. Like, you already have each followers. Like, if you already started posting with each other, like, you're going to already get a little bit more clout from just posting with each other. And it's like, oh, it like Piper was like, oh, I'm so smart. Like, I have a marketing degree. You don't really think I know how to get followers? Like, as if like it's just numbers. And it's like, that's what's annoying with like, that's why it's true. Like, I hate like the typical influencer girl or stuff like that, because it's like, what, you're just trying to get a following because you're hot, which is not bad, but it's like, no, like, what are you trying to get out of it? If you're trying to get money, get your money. But it's just like frustrating, because it's like, as someone that is, and you too, like, we're both trying to grow on social media, but we have something that we're trying to grow. Like, this podcast is trying to build a community of women. Like, what are you trying to get on it? You're just trying to sell your whatever. I don't know what it is. You're trying to sell yourself to get money. And it's like, me and you are not doing a podcast for money. We're doing it because we want to reach people, and we want to like connect with people. And I want to have a community, and I want to be able to like help other people, and like, I don't know, like just create a community of people that identify with us and our experiences and our journeys. And like, I want to bring women on here and share their stories. And it's like, to hear someone so frivolously say like, oh, it's so easy to get followers. Like, it's like, well, bitch, that's why people aren't following you. Cause like no one wants to follow someone that just cares about that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like where's your like soul? Why are you so
where's
hollow?
your soul? Yeah. Yeah. And like that, yeah, I don't want to be a bitch, but it just kind of shows you that it's like, you're kind of an empty shell of a person. Like you're just there, and you're trying to get money, you're trying to live your best life, which I can't hate you for, but it just makes you feel, you sound like a sheep. That's what I thought when she said that. I was like, you sound like a sheep.
Yeah, honestly, I just didn't like the way the whole thing was handled, to be honest.
Wait, the funniest part was watching Grocery Store Joe like walk with his band of women. His posse. And then Brandon's face was like, oh, fuck, they're coming for me.
That was so great.
I know, I died. I was like, oh shit. But no, and then the grossest part was like, what's his name? Riley and
I don't
Marissa?
even want to talk about it on live. Like,
is that her name? Marissa?
Yes. Marissa. The fact that they even did that on national television, guys. Literally. First of all, it's not even, I don't even want to say that it's not okay to do in like private, because whatever, everyone has their own fetishes and own things, but like disgusting, gross. I don't have words for it except like, why?
Yeah, I mean, for those of you that don't watch the show, this woman put whipped cream. They were playing a game. They literally had a thing of whipped cream and like a bowl of like different pieces of paper with body parts. And they had whatever piece of paper with the body part they pulled out. So like, let's say they pulled out the paper and it said nose. They had to put whipped cream on the nose and like lick it off each other. This bitch licked off whipped cream off this man's toe. And I was just like, I mean, I know there's people that are into that, but I was so grossed out. And they like showed the toe and like zoomed in. I just could not. I was like,
I was cringing. I had to turn away. I couldn't look at the TV.
It was cringy.
No longer. I had to literally get up and go do something, because I was like, this is not happening right now. I was in denial. I couldn't believe that I was watching this nice young lady suck off a big ass toe full of fucking whipped cream on a fucking live ass TV. I had no words. I literally had zero.
Oh my God. She is definitely really freaky, because only people who lick toes are really freaky. Like, she's down for anything, bruh. Like, she's down for anything. I saw that and I was like, I mean, he must be really lucky, but like, that's gross. Like, I can't do it. And then Wells was like, that is the grossest thing I've ever seen.
They're walking around in nasty ass like beach. Like, this shit is probably full of fucking bacteria.
And then they proceeded to have sex right after.
Toe. She probably has strep throat today. I mean, we just don't even know.
I just could not, like, I could never. I'm just not into it. I don't think I'm into like food and like having sex at the same time. Like, that's just like not, like, I like thoroughly enjoy food. I don't know if I'm into that. Like,
I'm so into it. I'm so into it. I have so much to say on this, but like, not on the fucking toes. Like, I will fucking put,
wait, so everywhere but the toe?
Yeah, like, that's fucking weird. Like, why are you doing that?
I just feel like it would be sticky.
I feel like toes, like feet, are just off limits. But I mean, like, you want to put some like 50 Shades of Grey, some like, you know, vanilla ice cream on, you know, his chest. Good. I would fucking do that shit all day long. You know, whipped cream.
I don't think I could do that.
Hell yeah. I'm down for that. I fucking love sweets. I'll do that shit all day long. But not on the goddamn toe. Like, that's just fucking disgusting. I have no word for it.
Oh my God. I don't know. Haven't tried the whipped cream thing. I just like logistically, I don't want any of my belongings to be sticky. So I'm just like, it sounds fun in theory, but just thinking about everything else, the logistics of it, I just don't like it. It doesn't make sense to me. I probably won't want to do it. But shout out to Riley. I mean, congrats on finding a girl that's down to lick your toe.
I would be so weirded out. I would literally, I don't even know.
They're a cute couple though, and I feel like they're gonna actually date in real life. Like they have really good chemistry. Like they don't even have to try. Yeah. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see how it is after they have had sex, because
I feel like they went to the boom boom room already.
No, they did. They did.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't remember. I don't know. Maybe I'm like talking out of my ass. I have no idea.
Yeah, they went to the boom boom room.
They did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And they came right out like 10 minutes later.
Wow, that was fast.
I mean, this man got his toe sucked. He was ready to go. Oh, that's so cringy. Ew. Okay, so I guess we'll end the podcast on that note.
On toe sucking? We're going to
toe
podcast on toe sucking?
On next week's episode. Oh, gosh. That's what we're going to end the note.
Anyways, guys, I am going to tell you, now that I'm this new person who, like, talks about their social media, please follow my blog, Living Cosmic, on Instagram. And also, obviously, check out my blog. It's livingcosmic.com. And then my Instagram is at Vanessita, which is VANESSITAA_. And follow me on there. I'd love to connect with you guys and send us some questions or, some crazy stories that you guys have, because I'd love to talk about them. I feel like it'd be great.
Yeah. We need to post. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to post today, like, I need some like juicy stories, and if I find someone's story that's like juicy enough, we need to like bring them on the podcast. So we should do that, like the craziest dating story.
I feel like I have someone. I just don't know if they would want to talk about it.
We can do it anonymously. Like it's so easy to like, and we can always like change their voice if they don't want to be like, if they don't want their real voice, I can always change it. Yeah, have fun this weekend. Live it up. Drink a lot. That's what I will be doing. All right, bye, guys. It's been real.
Bye, guys. See you next Friday.